Alright guys, for the first round, we do have a very bad start. My opponent's first Pokemon is a Fire Castform. Fire Castform is a fire only Pokemon, so of course he will be doing super effective damage against my Alolan Sandslash. Alolan Sandslash being an ice and steel type Pokemon, fire types will be doing double super effective damage against him. I do decide to make a swap out into my Whiscash to actually counter that Castform, but my opponent does make a swap out into a Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff being a very animated Pokemon, both of us will be doing neutral damage against each other with basically all of our charge moves. I do expect them to be running something like Play Rough plus Ice Beam. My Mudbomb is charged up. I do know that this will faint him from the health that my opponent is at right now, or be close to fainting him, doing enough damage for my Whiscash to actually go for the hard form down. I was wrong, it did instantly faint my opponent's Wigglytuff right there. My opponent's second Pokemon is a Whimsicott. I do know that he still has that Castform in the back, so I do decide to make a swap out into my Sandslash to actually counter that. If he does decide to make you swap onto that Castform, as you guys see here, I did decide to throw in the Bulldoze. I did double charge with my Sandslash because once again, since fire types will absolutely counter my Sandslash, I do have to get that super effective damage charge move that will be doing super effective damage against fire types. Bulldoze being a ground type charge move, ground types do super effective damage against fire types, so we did get a good amount of damage off. I did decide to make that swap out into my Wigglytuff, although fairy types do not very effective damage against fire types. His Castform was low enough for my Wigglytuff to actually go for the hard farm down. My opponent's final Pokemon is a Whimsicott. I still have that Sandslash in the back that will be doing super effective damage against my Sandslash or his Whimsicott, but it seems like I don't even have to take out the Alolan Sandslash before my Wigglytuff does actually faint my opponent, allowing us to win the first round. Good game to that opponent. For the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Bronzong. Bronzong being a Steel and Psychic Pokemon, I do decide to charge up all the way to that Bulldoze. Bulldoze will be doing super effective damage. Once again, Bulldoze being a ground type charge move, ground types will be doing super effective damage against Steel types, so that is very good. We do get a very nice hit. My opponent's Bronzong does get to his charge move right here. Since he did actually take the hit and didn't throw in a charge move, I do decide to do the same, but I didn't actually know that my Bronzong does have access to Bulldoze, so he does get a very nice hit on my Sandslash that does actually faint him. Sandslash is on ice and steel type Pokemon once again, so ground types will be doing super effective damage against him as well. My opponent's second Pokemon is a Drifblim. Drifblim being a ghost and flying type Pokemon, I do decide to make that charge up into that Blizzard. Blizzard will be doing super effective damage against him due to ice types being super effective against flying types. Although we did get the attack debuff from that icy one, it still is going to be doing a good amount of damage, enough to actually probably faint him. But my opponent does decide to throw in a shield, so my Blizzard doesn't actually go through there. I do decide to make that swap out into my Wigglytuff. We do successfully get my opponent's Drifblim to half health before he does actually get to another Icy Wind. That is very good because we do want to have that damage advantage as possible, because there may be a chance that he doesn't actually get to his charge move before he gets to another Icy Wind. But as I remembered, their Icy Wind does give your opponent an attack debuff, so my Wigglytuff does have 2 stacked attack debuffs, so our Charm and our Plague Rough is going to be doing a bunch of less damage against my opponent's Pokemon. My Plague Rough is charged up. Fairy types will be doing super effective damage against fighting types, but not very effective damage against poison types. So even though we did get those 2 attack debuffs, it still was going to be doing a good amount of damage. I did realize that my opponent was not going to go for the hard farm down. He did throw a Mudbomb right here that surely will faint my Wigglytuff. It still is okay because my final Pokemon is actually a Whiscash. Whiscash being a ground and water type Pokemon. My ground types will be doing super effective damage against poison types. My Mudbomb does actually hit his Bronzong right there, which is totally fine because my Whiscash's Mudbomb will be able to charge up before my Whiscash does actually faint. We do have that one shield in the back. This Mudbomb surely would have fainted my Whiscash, not because it is a strong charge move, but because my Whiscash is very low enough for the Mud Bomb to faint us. But since we did have that shield, we were able to survive that, and we did throw in the Mud Bomb, fainting his Toxic Hook, allowing us to win the second round. Good game to our opponent. For the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Bastiodon. I do consider this to be a pretty even start, although I do know that Bastiodon does have Flamethrower that will be doing double super effective damage against my Alolan Sandslash. My Alolan Sandslash does have Bulldoze that also will be doing double super effective damage against Bastiodon. But I do know that Bastiodon's Rock Throw will be doing more damage, so my Bulldoze will be charging up way faster than my opponent does get to his Flamethrower. Right there, as you guys saw there, we were able to get to our Bulldoze once again before he does get to another Flamethrower. Both of us are down by one shield, but I do expect him to throw in a shield on here. If he does, I did decide to make that swap out into my Whiscash, mainly because I will be able to counter those rock type moves plus those fire type moves, including the Flamethrower and Stone Edge. My opponent's second Pokemon, which you did swap out into, is a Tropius, so I did decide to throw the Blizzard. Boom! Even with max health, that Blizzard did instantly one-shot him. Blizzard being an ice type charge move, ice types will be doing super effective damage against both grass types and flying types. My opponent's second Pokemon is a Altaria. My Blizzard is charged up, so I did decide to throw in another shield here, mainly because I do not know if my Alolan Sandslash will be able to get to a Mud Bomb before my opponent's Bastiodon does get to his Stone Edge or his Flamethrower, so I do decide to keep my own Whiscash alive so that he will be able to throw in the Mud Bomb. I do know that since we will be double resisting those water and those stone and fire type moves, I am able to get to a Mud Bomb before my opponent does actually faint my Whiscash. As you guys see here, Mud Bomb is charged up. Ground types will be doing super effective damage against both rock types and steel types. That does easily faint his Bastiodon, allowing us to win the third round. Good game to our opponent. For the fourth round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Victreebel. So that was a very good start for us because Victreebel being a grass and poison type Pokemon, ice types will be doing super effective damage against grass types. So he does make a swap out into Lapras to actually counter my Alolan Sandslash. My opponent's Lapras does get to his Surf, so I do decide to make a swap out into my own safe swap and make that swap out into my Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is doing a good amount of damage with his fairy type moves. I do decide to throw in my first shield here because I surely do know that my Playrough will also get a shield for my opponents. Playrough will be doing a good amount of damage, and if he does win this one-on-one, this is very huge for him because then I probably will have to make that swap out into my Whiscash, which that Victreebel will definitely counter because Victreebel is a grass type Pokemon. Grass types will be doing double super effective damage against my Whiscash due to grass types being super effective against both water types and ground types. So I did actually have to win this one-on-one because of that, so I did decide to throw in a shield there. My opponent does make that quick swap into a Victreebel. So I do decide to make a swap out into my Sandslash. I do know that this Sandslash or this Ice Punch will be doing super effective damage against him. So I do decide to throw in the Excellent because I probably will instantly faint him from the level that my opponent's Victreebel is at. We do get my opponent's final shield there. We are one more Powder Snow away from getting to our Ice Punch. My opponent is very low, so I do decide to go for the hard farm down at my opponent's health right now, because this Bulldoze and my Ice Punch will be doing a good amount of damage against any Pokemon in which he makes a swap into. That Lapras does make a come out, and my Whiscash does actually go for the hard farm down on his Lapras, so that is very good. And my opponent's final Pokemon is a Whiscash. Whiscash being a water and grass type Pokemon, my Blizzard is going to be the strongest move instead of my Mud Bomb. Once again, Blizzard is an ice type charge move. Ice types will be doing super effective damage against ground types, but not very effective damage against water types. So we don't actually get a shield there because once again, both of us do have 0 shields. I do know that another Blizzard will surely faint him. My opponent does throw in a Mud Bomb on my own Whiscash. that doesn't even do that much damage. Blizzard is charged up. This definitely will faint him. Not only because Blizzard is a very strong ice type charge move, but because his own Whiscash is very low, allowing us to win the final round. Good game to our opponent. Alright guys, so that will be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and setting notifications on. Comment down below what you guys actually think of this team, and with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.